Hello everyone, this is Boricua Binks, and welcome back to Let's Play the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, where we are continuing on in the fourth case of the game, The Adventure of the Clouded Kokoro. And thankfully, we are finally going to be starting with the trial. I'm excited. I feel like this investigation has taken forever, so... Alright, February 20th, 9:23 a.m., the Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. Well, I never expected this. Who'd have thought we'd be back here again so soon? We are on a study tour of Great Britain with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. In order to research the latest court procedures here, we need as much court experience as possible. Well, yes, I suppose that's true, but for the person in the dock, it may well be his or her one and only time in court, and it could be life-changing. In which case, treating it as research may seem a little crass. Oh, when you put it like that, you're quite right. Who's this? Is this Sherlock? Good morning! Oh, no, it's Natsume. Good morning! Ah, Mr. Natsume, good morning. Oh dear, are you alright? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot. I mean, he's probably nervous as hell. He was already nervous, as you can tell, but he's even more nervous now, poor guy. The early bird catches the worm, as they say here in Britain. Yes, I've heard that expression. But I really don't want to catch a worm. So I tried desperately not to wake up early, but I was so worried I couldn't catch a wink. And now, I'm absolutely exhausted as a result. Do all literary people take things so literally? Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsume. I wish I had 9 lives. My whole future hangs in the balance. I'm too terrified to tremble. Really? Because I can feel tremors on the floor. I can't do this. I can't take it. Although, welcome student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Yes? Do you have to always have such a long title for me? It's really annoying. I caught a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom. It looked like the opening night of the opera. There were so many people. I had no idea my case was such a notorious affair here in London. Oh, neither did I. Do you know why that might be, Mr. Sato? I'm sure it's about the demon prosecutor or whatever. Because people are scared of him and intrigued by him. Well, he's not a demon. Well, yeah, he's kind of he's a vampire. I've kind of missed him, so I'm eager to see him again, Mr. Drama King. I'm sorry, Mr. Naruhodo, but I have no idea. So that all-knowing look on your face is just coincidence then, is it? Don't hide the truth from me! It's because of the Reaper, isn't it? Yeah, the Reaper is what they really call him. Lord Von Zeeks? Is that right, Mr. Sato? I purchased as many different newspapers as I could find this morning, and yes, Lord Van Zeeks is on the front page of every one. I knew it. Sometime after the prosecutor was dubbed the Reaper of the Bailey, he stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now, in fact, until the day before yesterday. Yes, Inspector Gregson told us something similar, didn't he? He sure did. The trial 2 days ago marked Lord Van Zeek's return to the courtroom after a very long hiatus. The trial of Magnus McGilded. Ugh, what a harrowing experience that was.
I believe that appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today's.
But we wouldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived in the country.
Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon for what appears to be a mundane murder? That's the question the papers are asking, and they are all speculating various answers.
Mundane? Mundane? It's the most significant saga of the century to some of us.
Oh dear, I meant no offense, Mr. Natsume, but that is how the papers are describing it.
But it's not a murder. She's alive, right? Unless she passed away and we don't know. Well, lest we also forget the fact that it could spark an international incident. Obviously, the reappearance of this infamous prosecutor has caught people's attention. His poses are so funny, like, why are you doing that? But there's another blatant similarity with the trial of 2 days ago.
Yes, I agree.
Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. It's you! Me? Well, I suppose that's true. Both times it is you who stands against this legendary prosecutor. It can only mean that you're friends with the Reaper! Please, I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers. And he's a freaking racist jerk, so no, we are far from friends. For now. Hopefully he'll warm up to us. And we'll have a nice rivalry like most of us have, most of the defense attorneys have with their prosecutors in these games. Although I feel bad. I feel like Franziska doesn't really have a rival, and it's kind of a shame. Even though she sees Phoenix as her rival, you know his true rival / love interest is Edgeworth. And Clavier has Apollo, and yes, future games have other ones as well, so.
I'm afraid that there's really only one other explanation. It can only be another example, Mr. Naruhodo, of your uncommon bad luck.
Thanks for that. Oh, this is just my luck. Why must I be represented by a man with such frail fortune? By the least lucky lawyer alive! Well, his descendant has really bad luck as well, so it's like a curse for their whole family. That sucks. Well, let's not forget that it was you, Mr. Natsume, who asked me to represent you. Oh shit, you're right. Don't talk shit when you're the one who was begging, okay? Yes, it's true that I'm just a student, new to London, with little in the way of experience or skills, or luck. But I promise you this. I will fight your corner. Wait, fight your corner? Ugh, typos. I'm gonna fight your corner. I will fight in your corner until the bitter end. And I will believe in you, Mr. Natsume. Oh, benevolent locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
You're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume. Whatever happens, we will always be on your side.
Oh, benevolent non-locum assistant, Miss Mikotoba Esquires. What the... Sir? I am in your debt forever. I shall never forget this great kindness for as long as I live. Mr. Natsume, counsel for the defense. The court session is about to begin. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once. Alright then, Mr. Natsume, it's time. Let's go. Oh god, how many voices? Oh, I'm gonna suffer. I just remembered the jury. Oh, so many voices. No! Don't do this to me, game. Why? Please let there be more females and let them have, like, a good variety. Please. Yes! This is it. My second appearance in a British courtroom. In my second trial against the Reaper.
Oh, Kazuma! You sexy man! Don't show him to me, you're hurting my heart.
I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma.
Of course he is.
Because this time, I won't let my faith waver. I believe in my client to the last. Just like you believed in me.
Gosh, I've been dying to read fanfics. Fanfics that are like those fix-it fanfics that, you know, he never died, you know, that kind of thing. But I've been avoiding it because I know there's probably spoilers in a lot of those fanfics, and I'm like, I haven't finished the first game yet, and I haven't even played the second game, so it sucks. How long must I endure this wait?
Just like you believed in me. I believe I can do this now. I'm ready for this fight.
Alright, let's get it. Get her done. Okay.
10 a.m. in the courtroom.
No. No, there's more men than females. Dang nabbit.
In the name of her...
Oh god, wait. What did I do for your voice? I don't think I gave... Shoot. Did I give you kind of my usual judge voice? I think it works. Yeah, I think so. I don't remember. Oh lord. It's gonna kill me though because I give a rasp to the judge's voice and I give a rasp to Naruhodo. And that makes my throat go like, dry. I have water here, but dear lord, so many raspy voiced people. These are my dumb choices that I make.
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
Oh god. I don't even remember the voice I gave you! Did I give you the German accent or something? Oh man, it's been so long. I think I just gave you like the vampire voice, right? Which pretty much works well. It had like an accent anyway. Look at you, Mr. Dracula. Long time no see. I hope you're as spicy as ever today. Because you amuse me.
The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord. The defense is ready, my lord.
The Nipponese are a truly fascinating breed.
Sorry, what? We're starting with this shit again?
Lord Strongheart has taught me all about you. That you are a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago, a mere amateur.
Do you have a point?
Being a compatriot, you feel compelled to try to help the accused, I suppose. Typical Nipponese arrogance.
Forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is an appropriate description. Yeah, you tell him, girl.
Susato-san.
After all, at our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent.
Even though we know he was guilty. Is he gonna throw the chalice already? He's already salty. Don't bring up the last trial.
Very true, and a most fascinating, if dark, trial it was too. The tragic conclusion came later, of course. Here's to the acquitted, and his unfortunate violent end, which he totally deserved.
Thank you, counsels. I see both sides are in fine fettle. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here in court as impartial members of the public?
No! Why are you here? Of all people! No! Oh, god darn it. No! I'm so mad. You're annoying. Ugh. And he's not impartial. He doesn't like us after what happened last time. Out of this huge city, how is it that we got stuck with him again? The game... I see you, game. You didn't want to have to create another new character. You're like, yeah, let's reuse some people. Shoot. What did I do for you again?
You never know when you might be down on your luck, but I believe in fair play for everyone.
Don't lie. Okay, she's new. She looks so... What's with her lips? Let's see, what voice shall I give you?
Well, I must warn you, I'm rather more ruthless than I appear.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, not me. What you see is what you get. I'm a peace-loving fellow.
I know they're all British, but I'm not gonna give everybody an accent because it's too much. What? She can't possibly be a juror. Why is she a juror? No, come on. How is that even possible? Isn't she's somewhat related to the case, so what the frick? Oh lord, this system is a hot mess. Y'all. Like I said, they didn't want to have another person. Oh, of all people.
I'm afraid to say, I think it's quite possible that mustached foreigner did the deed. Come on, what are we waiting for? No doubt he did it anyway.
Sorry, didn't quite catch that.
Very well, let us proceed. Your opening statement, if you please, Lord von Zeeks. Very recently, Great Britain signed an alliance with a rising power in the Far East. The accused in the dock today is a student from that same land, a certain Mr. Soseki Natsume. And while our country has extended this foreign student the warmest of welcomes, regrettably, the kindness has not been returned. In fact, the student is accused of a most sinister act.
There it is.
Of plunging a knife into the back of an innocent woman who was doing nothing but walking down the street. A knife crime? I tell you from big experience, those are the worst. Bloody oath they are.
Just look at that sallow complexion and short stature. He's one of those dreadful Japanese.
Wow. Racism.
Come on, let's get this over with. With me now, everyone. 1, 2, 3.
Sorry, didn't quite catch that. How can he be a juror if he can't hear? Dagnabbit.
Pray, forgive the discourtesy of smashing my hollow chalice here in this great chamber.
Then stop doing it. Aren't those expensive?
Allow me to call the first witness to the stand. Very well. Here we go, having to deal with him in his dramatic flair. Bailiff, lead the inspector in, please.
Oh, Gregson. Yep. Is he allowed to eat? On the stand?
Your name...
Why did I do the judge?
Your name and occupation, please. Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard. Would you please summarize the events of the case for the court, Inspector? The victim is thought to be a young woman in her 20s by the name of Olive Green. I beg your pardon, Inspector. Thought to be? Yes, having been stabbed in the back by her attacker's knife, the victim fell unconscious. That was 3 days ago now, and she's been comatose ever since. What? So they don't even know who she is for sure?
Whoa.
comatose, I see. But her life is not in danger. Fortunately for the Eastern student, the charge will not be murder. Pray, elaborate on the details, Inspector. Sir, if I could ask everyone to look at the street map.
Okay, I was wondering.
As I mentioned, the incident took place 3 days ago, at around 5 in the afternoon. It happened on the pavement running alongside Briar Road, a wide thoroughfare for horse-drawn vehicles. It had not long since stopped snowing as the victim, Miss Green, was walking down the street. Out of the blue, she was approached from behind by the accused and stabbed in the back. Luckily, the young lady's life was spared, and she's currently being treated in one of the city's hospitals. But being unconscious as she is, we've been unable to take a statement from her, of course. This is the case file with everything we know about the victim so far. Thank you, Inspector. The court will accept the documents as evidence, if you please.
Okay. I want to look at that because we don't know anything about her. I mean, the fact that they don't really know anything about her is not so good either. Let me look at that. Okay. Secondhand book receipt. Let's look at that again. Your books, 17th of February. Hey, my birthday. 4:45 p.m. Customer Mr. Natsume. The sum of 2 shillings tendered in receipt of. And they have the 3 books there. Okay. Details: young woman rendered unconscious following a stab wound to the back. Olive green, female, stout build, early 20s. Pavement of Briar Road, east side. Reporting officer Rolly Beat. Additional notes. The victim remains unconscious. Her name was gleaned from her personal effects. Other details are unknown. Apart from the single stab wound from the large knife, no other signs of injury were observed. The assailant was seen running away by the reporting officer and was successfully arrested the following day. He saw him running away? Where did he come from then?
What of the weapon that was used? Sir, we have that here. It was removed from the victim's back. Ouch, that big thing is starting to make me scared to walk down the street now.
So like a switchblade kinda? But it's big.
With a heavy blade like that, almost anybody would have been able to stab the poor woman.
Even the scragged-looking Saseki-san, I suppose. A common or garden jackknife, I would say. Rather nondescript. Thank you, Inspector. The court accepts the blade as evidence.
Okay.
Now then, what do we know of the motive? Money or valuables, I presume? From what we can tell by looking at the woman's possessions, it seems like she's a poor student herself. Hard to imagine she would have had anything much worth pinching, my lord. I see. Well, in that case, are we looking at some deep-seated resentment toward the victim?
Yeah, what the frick is the motive?
I'm afraid I couldn't say. Apart from visiting second-hand bookshops, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, doesn't appear to get out much. At this moment in time, we haven't been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim.
Yes!
Exactly.
If theft and grievance have been ruled out as the motive, what reason could Mr. Natsume possibly have had for stabbing the young woman? Yet you arrested the man in spite of that, in a totally unjustified and heavy-handed way.
Objection!
Uh-oh. What the? There we go. Oh my god. You almost could
gonna hit somebody, bro. Like, holy shit, that almost hit me.
Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle into the public gallery. But your words have soured its hallowed bouquet. For it is you, my learned friend, who is being heavy-handed here.
What?
Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should be beyond question. Inspector Gregson, the prosecution calls for your formal testimony. Explain to the court precisely why the constabulary came to arrest the Nipponese student. Yes, sir.
Alright. Mr. Natsume's arrest.
As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, and there was an unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else about but the victim and the accused. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. There was being a number of old books he just bought. He was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems.
Okay, I feel like the books are important.
It was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to, and we found the bloke to arrest him. Old books, you say? Yes, my lord. I have a photograph here of the scene of the crime, taken immediately after the incident.
I think what confuses me about the photographs in the game is that for some reason my mind is thinking, did they have photographs with color back then? For some reason I thought it was black and white, but I don't know. I'm not gonna question it. Other than what I just said right now, but you know what I mean. I'm just like, whatever. Let the game do what it wants to do.
Ah, yes, I can clearly see the books to which you are referring. I will take that photographic print as evidence, please, Inspector.
Okay. But that's gotta hurt. Freaking knife in the back like that.
You Nipponese are a spineless breed, too cowardly to admit defeat, denying everything despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary.
Well, you shut up. Forgive me, Lord Van Zeeks, but the defendant is not denying everything, as you put it.
What are you doing, Mr. Sato? Do go on.
Mr. Natsume has admitted to playing some part in the incident. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo?
Well, now you mention it. When we visited him in the prison yesterday, he did tell us what had all happened.
As I was walking along that accursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went to overtake her, she suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed onto the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet. I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran as fast as my legs would carry me back to my accursed lodgings.
Green overcoat.
Well, that's exactly what the woman in that print is wearing.
Oh my! A photographic print in full color! What will the world come up with next?
Okay, yeah, see, that's what I said. How is that even possible back then?
The defendant has done nothing more than admit he fled the scene of a terrifying incident. That does not mean that he's guilty of the heinous crime of stabbing the woman in the back. There was nobody else there at the time. Just the two of them, the victim and the accused. In other words, there is nobody else who could possibly have stabbed the woman. A fact that the accused concedes.
Ugh. So, I've been trying to figure this case out, and now that they really are talking about it, my brain is spinning and thinking. The only thing I can think of, it's weird. There are just two things actually. One is that was she already stabbed earlier, and then suddenly happened that she felt it and then collapsed, like it was a delayed reaction. Or but the scream is what throws me off, you know? Like why would it have been such a delayed reaction? The other would be um yeah, the other would be that maybe someone threw the knife into her back rather than coming up behind her and stabbing her. But like the force you would need to throw it for it to go plunging into her back like that, and the angle is what throws me off, you know? Like was someone using some kind of, like, I don't know, not like a trebuchet or something, like some kind of machinery or mechanism to aim it so it could go straight to her back. I don't know. It's just throwing me off. Like even if you were a knife thrower, I don't know if they could, because it's so low. Because she's short, right? And it's in the middle of her back. Let me see again. Yeah, it's. I mean, for them to throw it so precisely into the middle of her back like that, it would be kind of hard unless they're a short person too. Well, not really. I mean, maybe they have really good aim and they can aim somewhat downward slope. But yeah, so far we haven't talked about the possibility of someone attacking her from far. But like, how far would they have to be in order for them to be able to still hit her? And how would he have not seen them? You know what I mean? So it's just weird. All I can think of is the knife throwing thing now. Oh well, that's just me trying to figure this out.
Ugh. It seems this cross-examination could prove to be pivotal, Counsel. Proceed, please. Yes, my lord. Nothing for it. I have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here. It's our only chance.
Okay.
Cross-examination.
Alright, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and there's unusually light fog. Not that that's important. Reasonably good. No one else around. Let's press on this.
Hold it!
How sure are we about this?
How are you able to state that with any certainty?
Quite simply, my learned friend, because that is what the witnesses to this crime have told us.
Ah yes, Inspector Gregson mentioned the witnesses yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah, tell me about the witnesses. How are they not suspects? Maybe they threw the knife.
That's right. One of them is a policeman, I believe, from Scotland Yard.
That is correct, ma'am.
Pleh. The pleh is back.
Then we must hear their testimony.
The prosecution will of course call them to the stand, should it be necessary.
Oh, it damn sure will be.
But wait a minute. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon in the middle of winter, it would have been dark already. No matter how light the fog might have been, no one could have seen...
I'm unaware of the situation on your tiny island in the east. But here in the capital city of Great Britain, all main roads are illuminated in the night by gas streetlights.
Ah,
The prosecution believes there would have been ample light by which to witness the crime.
quite. Here in London, for the first time in history, mankind has completely conquered the darkness.
The darkness. Oh, even I know that's a Kingdom Hearts reference, even though I've never played the game myself.
Which means we really need to hear those witness statements. If I could just get through the fog of this cross-examination, maybe we'll be able to.
It seems the counsel for the defense is taking stock. Continue with your testimony, Inspector.
Okay. Right.
From behind, you say?
That's right, as you can see from this print.
Yes, quite so, Inspector. The handle of the weapon is clearly protruding from the victim's back. And you say this poor woman, Miss Green, remains in a critical condition. Comatose, no less.
It's funny that her name is Olive Green and that's the color of her jacket or coat, you know?
I'm afraid so, my lord, yes. She's being treated at baths. I was hopeful that she'd come round before the trial started so I could take a statement, but it wasn't to be.
Yes, that is indeed a pity. It would have been most illuminating to hear the victim's own account of events.
Luck is on your client's side, it seems.
Play. On the contrary, my client has been exceedingly unlucky.
Your force of tone is seriously undermined by those disturbingly wide eyes, I'm afraid.
I mean, he has a point. I mean, your eyes are so creepy. Stop doing that. You need to calm down. Okay. Here we go. The books, the books, the books. Let's talk about the books.
Hold it!
The defendant apparently visits a secondhand bookshop on a daily basis.
Yes, so I understand. A shop full of old English literature. I commend the accused on the lofty subject matter of his scholarly attention. The bloke's room was stacked floor to ceiling with those musty old books.
No kidding.
Can you tell us more about the bookshop in question, please, Inspector?
Well, if I must, I'll have to ask you to look at the street map again, I'm afraid.
Okay. Is that on Calabash Road then? Oh, no? Okay.
The closest second-hand bookshop to the accused lodgings is this place here, Bourbon Books. A little place on the corner of Broyle Road and Meerschaum Street. As it happens, the accused is currently living in lodgings on the other side of Royal Road at the opposite end. Which means it doesn't take a genius to work out the route he would have taken home.
Yeah.
Something like this.
Okay. Updated.
Yes, I concur with your conclusion, Inspector. The defendant would certainly have passed the scene of the crime on his way home from that particular shop.
Mr. Naruhodo, I think that what the inspector just told us could turn out to be of vital importance.
Yes, I agree. The most important point that the inspector just made being...
the bookshop stock? I guess the location, right? Because they didn't really talk about the stock itself?
The crucial detail in what you've just told the court, Inspector, is the location of the bookshop.
I couldn't agree more.
So, where is it exactly?
Eh? Are you winding me up, Sunshine? I just explained that. I got the map out and everything. Used red blooming ink. And drew the bloke's route home on for you.
He's so worked up.
And I distinctly remember seeing you nod along, Counsel.
Oh, yes, yes, of course. I must have been so nervous I didn't take it in.
What was the point of that?
The blunder of the day goes to you, my learned friend. No, not yet. The trial's only just begun after all.
Oh, wait, so the location is not the most important thing? What is it then? The stock? They didn't really talk much about it, though.
Mr. Naruhodo, I would strongly advise you to look carefully through the court record at this stage.
Okay. What? But why? I mean, they showed that. That's all they showed. That they updated. Oh, wait. That's right. Oh. He didn't go to Bourbon Books. He went to your books. Got it. I got it. Okay. It's funny because I read it earlier and my mind said, oh, that's a weird name. Your books. But I didn't remember it. Oh.
Yes, miss. At once, miss. Sorry I made a mistake, miss.
Yep. I apologize. You can throw me later, Susato. Throw me all you want. Just kidding.
Inspector, continue with your testimony, please.
No, okay, let's do that again. No, you're wrong. Here we go.
Hold it!
Okay, let's go through it and get to that question again. How is it that they didn't even know with the right bookshop that he went to? It's not Bourbon Books. It must be on Calabash Road. Because I've been noticing that Calabash Road and they wouldn't have it there if it wasn't important, you know? So he must have come from the other way around then. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, come on, come on. Bookshop's name.
Inspector Gregson, may I ask you a favor?
What?
Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your formal testimony, please, so that I can present on it? I believe it may be of vital importance.
Maybe?
Oh, well, you know, I mean, yes, it could be a very important clue. Very well, not that I concede being of any great significance, but please revise your testimony accordingly, Inspector.
Yes, sir, my lord. Whatever you say.
Could the man be any more sardonic?
He definitely could be. He was on his way home from Bourbon Books, a secondhand bookshop he apparently patronizes. Alright, here we go. Let's present this.
Objection!
If I could just stop you there, Inspector Gregson.
What is it, sunshine? I'm a busy man, you know.
So where's with this sunshine thing that suddenly came up? Like, isn't it kind of cute to call him Sunshine? A little friendly there, despite your demeanor.
What is it, sunshine? I'm a busy man, you know.
This is a receipt that we found in Mr. Natsume's room. It was issued on the day of the incident and details the purchase of 3 second-hand books.
And you found that in the accused's room, did you?
Yes, but the point is not where the receipt was found, but the name of the shop printed on it.
Go on.
This receipt was issued from a bookshop called Your Books.
Your books? Y-O-R-E, I presume.
Yes, my lord. So, Mr. Natsume did indeed purchase a number of books at a second-hand bookshop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books.
Aha!
Eh? What?
Means you didn't do enough investigating, sir. Alright. Now that we got that fixed, let's end this episode right here. Thank you
you guys so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this. And until next time, have a nice day. Bye-bye.